I was 16 years old when this happened, and the guy that I got married to was 24 years old at the time. He was physically abusing me. He ended up literally slapping me across the face with my baby on my hip. He jumps out and he comes running at me and he fly kicks me in the chest. Got robbed, raped on the journey. I'm on the floor, I'm leaning. He's got his knee on my chest, his other knee is on my neck. He's there on top of me screaming, I made you, I am. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here.
So Sumaya, nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Can you speak about your childhood a bit?
I grew up in the UK. I got to the UK as a young child, under the age of 4. However, we did grow up moving around the UK. So from London to Birmingham, from school to school. So it was a bit hectic in terms of that. There was no stability, but other than that, everything was kind of okay up until I was about 10, 11 years old. And that's when we moved to Egypt, which initially started off as a holiday because my grandma lived there, my mother's mother. My mom fell in love with the culture and decided, hey, because of the culture and the religion, I'd like for us to stay here, as well as that she had her mother there after not having her for like 16 years. After that, I think life kind of just went a bit left for me. It started off with having FGM done to me when I first got to Egypt, which is forced female genital mutilation. I had type 1 done, which is where they cut the off, and that really traumatized me, and that was the first traumatic event that happened in my life. And I think that triggered my mental health, where I started becoming more anxious, just a lot all over the place, if that makes sense. Moving forward, I started having panic attacks, which led to me having issues with my mental health. My mother then took me to get checked out to see what was going on, and they mentioned to her that I may have some mental health problems. However, nobody did take that serious within my family. After that, I think I started acting out maybe as a kid, and I'm 12 years old at this point, trying to go to school, not understanding the language, not understanding anything, and it's just difficult in general. And I think that's when I started being taken out of school, being groomed at home, and just being told to cook, clean, and take care of the kids and babysit, if that makes sense. And that was what I dealt with for the next couple of years while being homeschooled. And that was when I got to 15. And around 15 is when things became a bit more severe. Due to my mental health issues and stuff, I ended up struggling with everything that was going on, with the way my life was set up and everything else. I wasn't coping well. And because of that, my family deemed it necessary that I was forced into a marriage with an older man. I declined. I said no, I wouldn't want to get married to him, whatnot. However, on my 16th birthday, I was tricked to go to Dubai with my father as like a birthday holiday. He ended up getting me some gifts and whatnot. Once we were at Dubai, he tells me that I've got business in Somalia, I need to go there, and we're only going to be there for a week. So let's go to Somalia quickly. And once we get to Somalia, my dad rents a house, puts us in there, puts us up in the house, me and my brother, and then tells us, hey, you're staying here, you're not leaving, and this is where you're going to be staying. You're not going back to England, you're not going back to your mom. So he then enrolled us into school, and around 3 or 4 weeks while going to this school, one day after school, my dad had a guy in the living room of the house that we was at. Me and my brother came home, we walk in and we see the guy, and my dad and my brother rush out of the house, and I asked my dad what's going on, and he tells me, sit down and speak to this man, basically. And I'm asking him why, and he was like, well, I just need you to speak to this man because you're going to be getting married to him soon, so you need to have a conversation with him. So I just felt really uncomfortable, and the guys, they're trying to have a conversation with me. Eventually my dad does come back and whatnot, and it is agreed that I should be getting married in the week following that. The engagement happened. They did a small wedding. I didn't have anybody of my family there to support. However, there was a woman from my dad's side of the family that was ushering everything and pushing everything, if that makes sense. And she was the one that was encouraging me, pushing me to get married to this man, to be like, Sumaya, what other thing are you going to be doing? This is your husband. This is what you're meant to be doing as women. It's just a lot of grooming talks. I was 16 years old when this happened, and the guy that I got married to was 24 years old at the time. After the wedding, things were very intense because as soon as the wedding happened, I was dropped off to the house that me and my father were living in, and to find out that they had set up the whole house for a wedding couple, if that makes sense. So they set up bedroom, furniture, living room furniture, they sort everything out, and they said, this is where you're going to be living. Also, my dad gave the man $2,000 to take care of me, to keep me. I don't know, but $2,000 was handed over from my dad to the man that I was getting married to. And then my dad disappeared, and he decided that he was going to Kenya with my brother, and they left me in Somalia by myself with this stranger. I was there for 4 months. I ended up getting pregnant, and I called my mother to let her know that I was pregnant, and I didn't want to continue staying there. And at the time, I fibbed, but it was because I knew, had I said that the guy was abusing me, that I wouldn't be taken serious, and I would be told that's a wifely duty that you need to do to your husband. So I fibbed, and I said that he was physically abusing me instead. So once my mom heard that he was physically abusing me, she booked me a flight and got me to come back to the UK. And I was 16 and 3 months pregnant at the time. I came back to the UK, found out I was pregnant. I continued the pregnancy, had my child in the UK. My mom helped me. I dealt with postpartum depression at the time. It was very much a struggle for me to take care of the child. Even bonding with the child was very difficult for me at the time. So my mom stepped up and took care of it. While that is going on, my dad forced me back into college because he was saying that if a woman was supposed to be living in his house, she was either meant to be working or education, that nobody can be sitting idly in the house. And I am 6 months pregnant at the time. So he forced me to go back to college at the time, pregnant and all, to study. At the time, after I gave birth, I kind of started falling off from education. As I said, everything was just becoming really difficult. My mental health was going down the drain. I couldn't focus, so I started using the college time to just go outside and just do whatever I wanted to do, like skip school basically. My parents found out that I started skipping school, and they started threatening me to say that they would send me back to Somalia or whatnot. During my pregnancy, I asked my parents if I could get a divorce once I had come back to the UK, and they said to me, as a Muslim woman, you cannot ask for a divorce while you are pregnant, so you have to wait until after your pregnancy and you give birth. That's only when you can ask for a divorce. So I waited until I gave birth to then pick up the divorce conversation. I picked it up and I told my parents, hey, I would like a divorce now that I've given birth. I don't want to be married to this man no more. So my parents had called him and had a conversation with the man, told him what I wanted. So I spoke to him and he said, Sumaya, is that what you want? Is it a divorce what you'd like? I said, yes, I would like a divorce. I thought I was divorced at this time,